Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the Taihang. This is also available this Lunar New Year. Unfortunately, it's only available in the second layer gamble containers. Last year, if you remember, you could earn this ship completely for free just by playing the game, running through some combat missions over a 2-month period. This ship was quite easily grindable. And this year it's back, and if you want to guaranteed get it, it's over $1,000 pretty quickly. Very frustrating wargaming. This is a very fun battleship at tier 9. You might even call it a Slava of tier 9. It's a little bit different dispersion. It's not exactly Slava dispersion, but it functions in a similar way, where it's better than battleship dispersion at longer ranges, and a little bit worse than normal battleship dispersion at closer ranges. However, with the 1.9 Sigma here, alongside very fast shells, it's really good in today's meta. And even at these closer ranges, you still have very, very nice dispersion. It fits really well into a flanking role here. It's not a very fast ship. It's not the best armored ship. It's certainly no brawler. But getting it on a flank means you get more broadsides, which means dev strikes. Consistent main guns are always going to be enjoyable to me. 406s here means that we don't have incredible overmatch for our tier, but it's more than enough to be very comfortable even if the enemies are angling to you. The AP shells here crucially do 13,250 alpha damage, and this is one of the only weaknesses of Slava main guns, is that the alpha damage is low there, 12,100 alpha on also 406mm main guns. Slava gets a little more pen, like 657 mil pen at 15 kilometers, but we still get like 608 millimeters of pen. It's crazy. This is a very, very powerful ship at tier 9. Though we are lacking a little bit in the healing department, only having 3 heals base makes it a little bit less tanky. Certainly just standard heals, longer reload here. This ship also isn't particularly maneuverable, rather long rudder shift time here. Again, you're not brawling with this ship, but that's totally fine with guns this consistent at these mid and longer ranges. It's so disappointing to see this ship return after last year's event for maybe one of the better events we've seen, getting the ship for free with perfectly reasonable combat missions last year. And now it's back for these gambling containers wargaming. This is incredibly disappointing. This is maybe why I've been more critical of your normal Nian Paradox event, where you can get things like a copy of Laria, a copy of Schlieffen, a copy of Petro. That's a solid event. But unfortunately, you're bringing back some old event ships, as well as adding in new content to the game in the worst possible way, the least player-friendly, the most predatory monetization you've almost ever done. I think this is probably just as bad or worse than things like ZF6 coming back for $1,000, D7 Prevention coming back for $500. Since there are 6 ships total in this extremely rare drop chance, you gotta open like 750 containers on average just to guaranteed get one of these 6. If you get unlucky, it gets way worse than that. These containers also aren't cheap at all. 100 containers, like 160 bucks US. It's atrocious. It's absolutely awful. I've been talking about this a lot. I'm sure you guys are all very familiar with it by now, but I just got to keep repeating myself because wargaming, this is simply not okay. If you want content to be made about your game in a positive light, where I get to talk about the game, personally, I would much rather do that. I would much rather be discussing Taihang playstyle and going over some more about this ship, where you want to play it, how we can still play aggressive with a ship like this one and get even more impact. You don't just have to sit at the back of the map. I'd love to be talking about all that. But unfortunately, wargaming, we can't just do that. We can't just have fun enjoying this game because the monetization here. For the vast majority of players, this ship is simply out of reach now if you didn't get it during last year's Lunar New Year event. And I would say that last year, it was a little better because it was new content that was available for free for players to earn. This year, the free content is copy-paste, which is fine. It's okay in addition, but the new content being simply unavailable, I can't be on board with that. That is not okay. Taihang at closer ranges has great dispersion, as we're about to see here. However, if you have user error, just don't realize that he is slowing down, yeah, we're gonna miss. Good dispersion equals you get to see how bad your aim is from time to time. Notice Taihang also there took a citadel on the enemy team. Yes, very vulnerable broadside here. Fortunately for us, the guns on this ship have incredible firing angles. You don't really need to go broadside. You get 3 of your turrets at 19 degrees forward. You get all 4 at 25 degrees forward. Absolutely incredible. And then we get kiting angles of 27 degrees to fire everything. Very, very powerful. That third turret, by the way, in the back is also a 360 degree turret. Very, very useful. It's a comfortable ship to play at these longer ranges. It's as soon as you get too stuck in close in brawling situations that this ship starts to lose its appeal. Musashi about to go behind the island. No problem though, we have very fast shells, so we'll get there in time. He's on 65k HP and triple citadel later. That's a 50k salvo. You know, a lot of battleships can do that, but consistently, no. Taihang brings a lot of that consistency we see of Slava against a lot of these broadsides at a lower tier. And if you do have to run into uncomfortable tier 9 matchmaker where you're up against some of those super ships, tier 10 up tiers, carrier sub games, you fit pretty well into the very passive campy meta. Just because it can play at those longer ranges doesn't mean you should always, but it's the option that I really appreciate. That flexibility where we can, if we want to, play a little bit closer and have more battle impact, but also we can snipe. Long range, start of battles, you're always sniping. And having this, I mean, down tiers are absolutely incredible in something like Taihang. You're not going to get this very often these days, but this poor Nagato. What do you do against this? I guess just try and shoot HE, but that is over 20k for Salvo. We take out a third of his HP instantly without even a citadel. Yeah, the alpha damage buff on this ship over something like Slava is a big deal here. I often find myself when playing Slava a little underwhelmed by the guns unless I'm getting citadels. That's where the damage comes from. Here with Taihang, we have very respectable pen damage alongside consistent dispersion to give us some of those citadels. And again, another 20k. We just 2-salvoed this poor Nagato down to 17,000 HP. Yeah, we're beating up on a 2-tier lower ship. I understand. But it's very powerful into battleships. What is it going to do to the cruisers at its same tier? That kind of thing, even at these longer ranges. With this build, I'm also greeting out things like Furious and Heavy AP, further reducing our ability to tank damage at these closer ranges too. But considering how, well, okay, there's our one that we miss. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. It's still a battleship. It'll still troll you from time to time. It needs to. It can't just be perfectly accurate all the time, but most of the time. And being able to greed out some of these reload buffs, these alpha damage buffs, that kind of thing is really nice on a ship that can just play at these longer ranges. Broadside Brindisi, oh no. It'll still troll you from time to time, but for the most part, it is going to be quite consistent. It's still battleship dispersion, it's not battle cruiser dispersion, not that good at least, but it's very nice to have most of the consistency. Here we go. Hopefully finishing off this Yaming as well as back turrets. Yes, there we go. Citadel in on the battleship, back turrets. Look at that dispersion, guys. Oftentimes 8-gun ships feel fine, good enough. I'm very critical of 6-gun battleships, as you guys all know, but 8 guns is enough for me to be okay with playing a ship usually with battleship dispersion. Typically, I want that 12 guns. That's the most comfortable to me. You know, I'm a Montana main from back in the day, of course. But these 8 guns feel great. These 8 guns feel very, very nice and consistent. Poor Helena. Yeah, it's not looking so good for poor tier 7s against this thing. Not even a citadel, and we take 3/4 of his HP just like that. We're gonna brawl though, which is a problem, okay? I should not be pushing here. This is not the right play to make, but we're gonna try it. We're down on points. We need to make something happen, as well as being an arms race game. They're quite a bit ahead on their ship buffs too, so we're gonna try and burst down a couple ships here. I am going to get caught flat broadside to one of the new European battleships, which, by the way, don't have the most consistent dispersion on their 381mm main guns. We get a nice hit into him, and he is gonna 60k us, 50k us. Yeah, vulnerable citadel on this one. Do not go broadside. Even a ship with as mediocre guns as the new European tier 8 you still get absolutely smashed. I deserve that. I deserve to take that hit. So don't get caught broadside with this one. It's scary stuff. Once we're angled though, yeah, we take quite a bit less damage. The ability to angle at greater than a 30-degree angle, right? Auto bounce angles start at 30 degrees. We're around 25. So it feels very good. We're actually going to survive this just barely off the back of more than likely just the 84k base HP that we do have. Broadside or somewhat broadside carrier here. It's about to get behind the island, but we have fast shell velocity. You don't have to lead quite so much. Really nice to see here. I will say that the turret traverse feels a little sluggish at times. 45-second base combined with reload mod makes for an over 50-second turret traverse without taking things like grease the gears. That can feel a little bit worse. The 360-degree rear turret, the third turret there, makes up for that quite a lot, as well as the firing angles. It means that most of the time, we're not turning our turrets around to the other side of our ship. We can afford to just stay at a very stationary position at longer ranges. It's not too big a deal then. Taihang really is just a fun ship that fits the meta quite well. We're comparing it to Slava, of all things. A tier 10 battleship that is extremely powerful at that tier. And this is a tier 9, and it compares rather favorably to a Slava. That's wild. At a tier 9, and you could have got this ship for free last year. I'm sorry to keep rubbing that in if you didn't get this ship last year. I know that must feel terribly. But the reason I'm bringing it up all the time is that I'm trying to make a point to Wargaming that this event is simply unacceptable. I'm right there with you. This is very, very frustrating that a ship as good as this one is locked behind such horrible monetization. And yeah, technically, this one isn't new for this year, but it's still one that was a previous FOMO event ship that was available for a reasonable way that you could get it. But if you missed out on that event, maybe you weren't playing then, maybe you had to take a break, maybe life came up. And now it comes back, maybe you wanted it all this year, that it was gone, and now it's back and you just simply can't get it because it's way out of your price range. It sucks. It really sucks, Wargaming. And please, please do not bring these ships back like this. Please don't add new ships like this. This is just not acceptable monetization. And why don't we play a live game as well? We got ourselves a bit of an up tier in this one. And that's perfect, because now we get to show off the chill nature of a sniping Taihang. We get ourselves a super ship game, just one. But it is a super ship game, a lot of battleships, higher tier in that. So a lot of sniping to be had in this one. And alright damage to start with. Ooh, the Stalingrad. Part of me wishes I would have saved my shot, although he would not have been spotted if he didn't shoot at us. Armor holds there. And 13.7 detect. Didn't talk about the detect as well as the torpedoes. Should have mentioned that as well. But it's pretty consistent having 13.7 detect here. It's not so bad at these higher tiers. Trying to wait until that Stalingrad gets to the point where either he's in a comfortable spot, uncomfortable spot. If he turns in to avoid these, he's going to ground, potentially broadside on here. Or he tries to commit to his turn and get into a bow on position here, and he goes broadside enough that he eats the full damage from that salvo. Tough to time that sometimes, but was hoping for a little bit more there. It's still good damage, honestly. Fire, sure. Angled Yamato, angled Mecklenburg. We'll go Mecklenburg here. Big old superstructure on Mecklenburg. Played that one rather recently, in fact. Oh, Stalingrad's reversing. Great. So, we're playing very central battleship positioning. Of course, the ship is very good in a spot like this. We got good range, good shell velocity. Missed out on that, unfortunate. We're going to keep an eye on this Stalingrad, but I also see Roussillon, Annapolis, some broadside opportunities here. So I want to potentially go after that. If this Stalingrad pushes out here, I want to be ready for it. Let's try there. Broadside Stalin. He might be turning in for those torpedoes. Looking okay. I used the mini-map to aim. Oh, yeah! No dev strike quite, but look at the citadels. Oh, yes, sir. Okay, he's going to stay on that island now. He's kind of stuck there. Great. So, a lot of damage early. And, yeah, we're playing passive, but we're complete bottom tier here. I should be trying to use these torps more, honestly. 10-kilometer torps that hit for a lot of damage. Don't hit DDs, obviously. Wait, is he going to reverse? Ooh, I think he is. No, he's going to go forward now, right? They're fast shells, though. And he's flooding, so he's not got the best acceleration. That's not good dispersion, though. No, we don't get it. Unfortunate. That's okay. That's okay. He's in a tough spot. Mecklenburg here. Yeah, we want to help on the north flank here now. But we still have the range to hit things across. As well as we have a heads up if we're getting rushed by a DD with the cap here. Right, I'm pretty alone. A battleship like this one can struggle when it's all alone. Certainly. But in this case, I'm relatively okay. You know, we're getting heads up over here from like a Jaeger and an Iowa, that kind of thing. And we're not getting rushed on from the B cap here. Mecklenburg, probably what we should go for here. The other one's behind an island. These crossfires, people don't expect, right? They don't expect to get shot all the way across the map sometimes. They're thinking about angling to the players on their flank. So we will take those shots. Roussillon gets spotted. We want to go after that now. Let's see. Mecklenburg. I mean, it's pretty easy to lead at these ranges. Look at the damage. Look at the hits. It's great. All but one are getting hit. Really nice. Iwami broadside, Monty broadside, Roussillon broadside. Annapolis, perhaps. Iwami is starting to angle, but we'll try it still. We need to angle as well. Speaking of angling. Vulnerable Citadel on this one. Oh, 5 shatters. No. He was still at an angle. We could have got the sits there, but I guess we just didn't quite have the pen on his angled Citadel. Too bad. I mean, you see the dispersion here. It's hype. Really nice. Monty is bow in, so if he wants to turn away, we might get ourselves an opportunity here. Patience. Patience. Patience is required here. It's a great ship, man. That's maybe why I'm also really disappointed in this event. Is such interesting ships, the new ships, returning old fun ships. To have them be locked behind such an absurd paywall. Very frustrating. We don't want to give too much broadside here. We're already giving enough to something like Roussillon. Oh, am I dead? Please. Oh, that looks like good dispersion. Please, no. Please, no. Not Roussillon. Oh, we're so lucky. We're so lucky. We're so lucky. Roussillon has troll dispersion now. Certainly. But given the size of the Citadel on this one, I would say that is some very, very, very fortunate RNG on our side. Yeah. Okay, we can eat a fire. That's reload at the moment. It's fine. Monty is turning in. Our team is winning the other flank. That's good. I want to get greedy for the potential Monty or Iwami, but yeah. Yep. It's time to get out of this spot now. 3 hits there, that's fine. Is the Mecklenburg, that one is able to hit us. I think the other one is behind the island now. Great. We should also shoot at destroyers. Good dispersion at range also means that we can get good hits on DDs, so we'll try it. Torp's critically damaged, that's not so good. Roussillon being behind the island now, I think means that we could maybe turn for this Montana. I would love to greet out a shot into this broadside Monty, who's going to be reversing here. That's Annapolis, I guess? Probably. What is he doing? All right, broadside stationary Monty. He's right at the island, so I'm worried about island bugs impacting this salvo. Yeah, no sits, unfortunately. That's too bad. Roussillon could be getting to here now. So, yeah, there he is. This guy AFK or something? We'll try again. We can turn in here, I think, because our team is going to get some... We're going to get some help from the south soon. And we can get to the next island. Surely. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's more like it. More black ribbons, please. Not a ton of opportunities this one for black ribbons, honestly. Things like Mecklenburg and that. You're not really going to Citadel them. And yet we still got quite a few. A lot of damage so far. There's the Annapolis. Awami is currently angled, but Awami turning broadside. Hold. Hold on a second. He also has, like, really good firing angles, so don't expect him to go flat broadside. Yeah, and he's already actually turning back in. Okay. Not a lot of damage, but a lot of hits. Can see if they are angled, then we still get a lot. If they were broadside, you know, we're hitting places that we want to for damage. Not explaining that well, but consistent accuracy, right? Roussillon here does not have the bow armor, so we aim for the bow and we get full pens through him. Very nice. That is the weakness of that ship. Oh, go secondaries. Wait, torps. I totally forgot about torps. I completely forget about torps on this ship because the guns are just that good. Crazy. All right, let's angle in now. Annapolis is spooky. Oh, you get the Citadel there. I guess so. Let's try there. Oh, yes. We can pinpoint the bow sit on an Annapolis. That feels great, guys. That feels really good. Now, are you going for the ram? No, the game is over. I was going to wait for him to shoot again and then use the torpedoes. Yeah, and at that angle, we get Citadel. The Citadel's very vulnerable on this one. Still a great game to finish us up here. Just doing one live one for you. Bit of a more passive, boring sniping one, but that's what I mean. We can do very well in those types of games, which are all too common these days. The AP absolutely slaps. The accuracy is beautiful on a ship like this one. It is just so sad that the only way you're getting this update is through absurd multi-layered gambling loot boxes. That is not okay, Wargaming. Man, you guys were on such a roll, Wargaming, with the last 6 months of 2025. It was so good. It was incredible. And then you had to start 2026 like this, going back to such terrible monetization practices of the first half of 2025. It's horrible. Worse, in fact, than the first half of 2025. Oh, very, very, very disappointing to make content on this game in this update. Here is the build that I was running here. Yeah, very, very greedy. Very greedy, but I think you get away with it on a ship like this one. And then here are the modules and upgrades here. Perhaps given our firing angles that you could go with prop mod instead of rudder. I've been really liking rudder though on my battleships as of late. I'm kind of trying that out, but rudder prop is probably better than rudder. Even damage control mod could be better for you too, if you're not used to speed juking or anything like that. But that is going to do it for most of Taihang. I should show you the armor viewer here. Yeah, 32, 356, and then we peel everything back and find a very above water Citadel. Although it kind of slopes down at the back. That's very strange, actually. But yeah, above water, easy to hit Citadel here. So very vulnerable broadside, which is good. I personally like that a lot. I think we need more of this, where if you give too much broadside, you get punished. I think that's really important. And this ship is a great example of that. You miss position, you die quickly. If you catch enemies off guard, catch their broadsides, it's accurate enough to actually punish it reasonably consistently. It's an awesome ship with just terrible monetization this time around. Really, really disappointing, as it was so good last year and so bad this year. Please fix it, Wargaming. Anyways, thank you very much for watching and have a great rest of your day.